Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel at Peace and Makeover. Today I'm joined by
The perseverance, guys.
we're going to be checking out Shati Unam explain Hadith science to Bobby's perspective in 5 minutes. I accept. Okay, Bobby is saying I accept, so I really want to see this. This is going to be an interesting video and it was recommended, so I want to see the explanation. So guys, without further ado,
Let's get started.
So, Hadith scientists are very accurate. People don't realize the hard work the scholars of Hadith have put in grading and classifying Hadith. Hadith are not just judged with Sahih and Da'if, there's a lot more to it. I don't have time to get into depth, but I'll give you guys a playlist on the Majdaribad channel. It's called the Science of Hadith, Grading Hadith Made Easy. But one thing I'll just explain, for a Hadith to be considered Sahih, which is authentic, there are 5 conditions. Okay? So for a hadith to be considered sahih, it has to meet at minimum 5 conditions. Okay? One of them, the chain has to be connected. Right? It's called ittisal al-sanad. So that means from the Prophet ﷺ till when it's written, there can be no breaks in the chain. For example, look at the Bible. There is no chain connecting Jesus or the disciples to where the manuscripts were written. Not anonymous authors. But that would never be acceptable in hadith. Meaning each narrator, who was it that heard from each one, we have to know who they are. The chain has to have no breaks. If it has a break, even if we don't know who the narrator is, just we have a name but we don't know, that's called majhul, that's a weak narration. Then each narrator has to have solid or good memory. So this is something that makes hadith sciences unique, because in history we don't check that. Like when we talk about Alexander or Julius Caesar, even if we look at the first-hand reporters, we don't check their memory. Then you have to have good moral character, right? Which is called adl. So again, Western historians, even if you look in the scientific industry, when we do a clinical trial, the people that are involved, we don't check their moral character. We don't care if they're drunks or liars or gamblers. We don't check if they lie regularly. But in hadith, we check. Anybody that was even accused of lying, that would be a fabricated hadith. Even accusation would not make it matruk. If it's established that they ever lied, they would become mawdu'. So the hadith judging is so accurate, but that's not it. Chain is connected, good memory, good moral character, then we have to make sure there's no contradictions. If there is something stronger that contradicts it, it's called shadh. Then we don't accept it as sahih. So if there is a hadith that mentions something or an ayah in the Quran, and then a hadith comes something contradictory to it, it could never be sahih. This is a very deep research done to make sure that we have what's mahfuz, what's protected. On top of that, there can be no textual defects. Meaning that if there is a grammatical error, if there is a word that's been flipped, that could never be sahih. So Imam Bukhari and Muslim, they have even more, right? To reach mutawatir, that's even more difficult. But even the base sahih hadith has to go through these 5 conditions at minimum. So if there is ever a chain with a break, it could not be sahih. Most history we have today doesn't have a connected chain. So that means even if you took most of the history you believe in, it would not reach the level of sahih. Everybody has to have a good memory. Even they're very good people, but they made mistakes, they flipped words, maybe they had some dementia at a time in their age, we cannot accept their hadith. Everybody has a good moral character. Moral character for them, not just lying. Even if you didn't make salah in the masjid, even if you ate with your left hand, they would take you out of being not reliable in hadith. Cannot be contradicted. People say hadith contradicts the Quran, it cannot be. It's one of the preconditions. And if there is any grammatical, even if a word is slipped, a letter is slipped, then it would be considered to be weak. Now, if this criterion is met, whether that supports your political views or not, whether that supports your madhab, your fiqh views or not, you have to accept it. And if these are not met, you have to reject it, even if it supports your point. And that's why, what we were discussing earlier, people's biases cannot affect hadith, because the science is neutral. So if you look at the scholars of hadith, it doesn't matter what madhab they are. Imam Bukhari, for example, Abu Dawud being Hanbali, Ibn Hajar al-Dhahabi being Shafi'i, Tahawi being Hanafi, Ibn Abdul Bar being Maliki, never affected their hadith work. Their fiqh is different. Why? Because in hadith we have a science that does not allow biases to play a place. You will have hadith that are pro-Amawiya and pro-Abbasiyya in the same book. The Rafidah, they will take what they like, but not the Ahlul Sunnah. You have a criterion that goes through. Just a brief introduction, inshallah, to a science that I love. Inshallah, you can follow up on more, inshallah. Barakallah feek.
Okay. This is not my first time hearing about this, about the hadith. My Muslim friend have actually explained it to me before. And, you know, according to him, he said they believe in logic. Like, there must be facts, there must be proven facts, like this is real. Even if it's a little bit of error, the contradiction is a little bit, they will never accept it. So it's very, very convincing, and it feels like it's real. It's really, really real about the about Prophet Muhammad, the way he sleep, the way he eats, the way dress he wore, how he pray and stuff like that. Probably they're all going to be true. But the teachings of him that contradicts the Bible, of the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ, that's what we Christians still don't understand or accept. They said he got his message from God because he was not alive during the time of Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So I was not there, so I won't really say a lot about it. But the hadith, should I say the hadith is true? Yeah, because the way and the process and the manner is being followed is very, 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 very accurate. And no matter how, even if you're trying to tell the story and you miss something else, they won't take you like valid. So with such manner of instruction or manner of way they're going about it, the hadith have to be accurate, at least 99% or 90% sure, 98% sure that the hadith is correct. So this, it's really, 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 really true. For the hadith itself is true.
Wow.
Guys, it's for me. But the teachings of Muhammad, that it's
Contradicts.
from Christians.
Well, I think this is my first time hearing a detailed explanation about this, and I don't really know more about the hadith. And he just kept on saying some words. I don't know if he's saying it in Arabic, so I didn't really understand most of it. But still, understand the five procedure he talked about. I truly understand that. And if any one of it is contradicted, if any one of it there's an error, it won't be accepted, which I really understand. And wow, I would love to see more about this, like more explanation about the science stuff, the logic stuff. And I love the fact that they believe in logic, they believe in facts, they believe in proof. So if you're going to say something, back it up with something else. Don't just say one thing without having a fact, without having a proof, without having a reference to what you're saying. So I really love that about Islam and Muslims. Well, this was a wonderful video, and I hope Bobby's perception was convinced.
There's something I want to ask. If the way Muhammad eats, what he drink, the way he sleep, and what he wear, like, is there not a way of changing? Must you guys wear jalamia or every time? Like, I know some Muslims change to normal outfits, but they keep repeating that circle of Muhammad.
Because that's how he did it.
I know that's what the hadith said of how he do. You are trying to follow his lifestyle of what he did and stuff like that. Well, I feel like generations upon generations things change. Even before Muhammad came, there was something else they were wearing that they stopped wearing to improve. So I feel like they ought to like leave that pattern of increase more. For me, well, the way Muhammad sleep and what he eats and the left hand, I don't know how they had it said it, but it's valid that Muhammad was real and stuff. But must you guys be following the procedure for the prayer aspect? Totally,
Understandable.
You have to pray in that manner
Yeah.
of kneeling and praying through. But the eating, the way he sleep, is it is a
Mandatory stuff
mandatory stuff, or I think my Muslim friend said they get reward. I think so
from
for
heaven.
yeah from each thing that they follow according to.
Then it's
I
okay.
think so, but
If you be
I don't,
rewarded by following
please
his footsteps,
explain in the comment section so
we understand
we
better.
understand more better. So
So guys, please let us know what you think about our reaction. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share our videos.
we'll see you on the
See you
next
next
one.